Okay, welcome to the Personal Finance Transportation presentation lecture. Please make sure to complete the viewing of the presentation lecture as well as answering the embedded questions that go along with it, as this will be a great tool to use for preparing for upcoming assessments. All right, so transportation. Let's take a look at what transportation is all about. First of all, let's take a look at different types of transportation. Chances are most of you have had some type of experience with any or all of these different types of transportation. So we have an automobile, we have a moped, we have a compact car, we have a sedan, we have motorcycles, we have bicycles, we have public transportation known as buses, trucks. All of these are different ways of being able to get an individual from point A to point B other than just using our feet and walking. Now, when it comes to using these different types of transportation, there are different costs, different risks associated and involved with using these different types of transportation, which is what we will be discussing in this presentation lecture. A fun little fact here is that the average consumer spends about 17% of their income on transportation. So that's either through the purchasing, maintaining, or fueling transportation items in order to get an individual from point A to point B. So 17% is a pretty significant amount of income. Now, when it comes to the cost of buying a car, let's take a look at Marina's scenario. Marina purchased a 2013 Honda Accord. If we take a look at the left table, the table on the left is the monthly payment. Her purchase price was $21,548. She put approximately 10% down on that. And based off of that, she has an interest rate of 2.84%, which brings her monthly payment to $347.09. And the total amount that she is going to have to pay then is $22,980.20. So that is a very important piece right there, is that even though you are purchasing a vehicle for X amount, which is $21,548, you're actually going to end up paying back more than that to purchase the vehicle because of the opportunity to obtain credit, because of the convenience of obtaining the credit and being able to pay it on a monthly basis. Now, if we take a look at the right-hand side table, this is going to be her 5-year average of out-of-pocket expenses. 15,000 miles driven per year is what the anticipation is going to be. So she's looking at about $9,852 in fuel, $39.15 in insurance, licensing, which is state fees of $19.32, $19.45 roughly in routine maintenance, $17.58 in repairs, giving us a 5-year total of $19,402, which can be broken down into a monthly amount of $323.37, which means per month, in order to have this vehicle and use it as a transportation vehicle, she's looking at about $670.46 per month to own this vehicle. It's a pretty significant amount of money. Now, not only that, but here is another important aspect to understand about transportation, and an unfortunate aspect of it is the depreciation aspect of a vehicle. The most significant cost of owning a vehicle is the depreciation, which means the decrease in value over the course of time. Your automobile will depreciate faster than the loan is paid, making a person upside down on the loan, which means you owe more than the value of the vehicle that you've purchased. That's kind of a crappy deal to be in, but it is the price that we pay in order to have a vehicle to use for transportation. You can use the Kelley Blue Book website to determine the current value of your vehicle based off of a number of different contributing factors such as year, mileage, and accessories. Another option for transportation is to lease a vehicle. Now, when you lease a vehicle, you do not own it. There are some drawbacks and advantages to leasing. Leasing is basically renting a product while the ownership remains with the lease grantor. So if you go to like Bergstrom and you lease a Ford Edge, you are only renting that vehicle. You do not own that vehicle. The dealership still owns it. Now, when it comes to a lease, you are going to pay a specific amount of money, usually monthly for a specific period of time. 36 months or 3 years is a pretty common time frame. Once the lease expires, the vehicle is returned to the lease grantor. And if you read the contract closely, Hopefully you will find no hidden costs, but if they are there, that is the purpose of reading the contract closely. Now, normally in leasing options 2, the leaser will also have the opportunity to purchase the vehicle after the lease agreement has expired. So that is another option that is not mentioned here that you may want to take advantage of. All right. And that concludes the presentation lecture on transportation. Please make sure that you go back and review the material as needed and make sure all embedded questions have been answered. I will see you next time we meet in class.